I'm your host, J.Mo, and welcome to Mental as Anyone. This is where we get real about mental health, the struggles, the breakthroughs, and what actually helps.
I definitely grappled with the diagnosis, but now I'm like, yeah, it's a part of me, and I love it.
I'm open about my own journey, online, in my book, and here with you. Now, I'm joined by guests sharing honest lessons to support you.
You can always be happier, healthier, more resilient, more empathetic. You could always improve your mental health.
So join me as we learn together that we are all as mental as anyone.
But I think in retrospect, and as an adult, you realize that everyone's going through their own version of what you're going through.
We all need support, and this show simply would not be possible without the support of our sponsors. This season, Amazon has played a special role in how we bring this show to life. The night before a recording, we'll jump on and order something small for our guests, and by the next day, it's there for them. It's those little moments that help people feel seen. So this is a genuine thank you for being part of those conversations, one delivery at a time. Amazon Prime offers free next day delivery on millions of eligible items across Australia. Shop online at amazon.com.au. Chemist Warehouse has been with us from day one, and they are there for you every day with over 550 stores across the country. It's the home for variety and value, giving you everything you need to stay balanced and healthy. Visit in-store or online at chemistwarehouse.com.au to find out what feels right for you.
You look very handsome on here. You've got the perfect lighting. You've got the perfect everything.
I'm in my podcast studio where we'll do virtual interviews from so that we can leverage this beautiful space we have. So, yeah.
There's been a lot of buzz already about the coming up trip. How are you feeling about it?
I couldn't be more excited. I toured Australia 3 years ago on my world tour. It was my favorite stop on tour. The gratitude of everyone who came, the banter, the quips, the energy. And what I'm really excited about is what I'm bringing this time, I'm not doing anywhere else in the world. I'm designing something exclusively for Australia. And so what you're going to experience is just for you. And so I'm so excited to see everyone at the event.
What is that?
So the event is called This Changes Everything. I want everyone to come and spend a few hours with me to really walk through what I believe are the four most important questions you have to answer in life, the four biggest decisions you make. The first is, how do I feel about myself? How we feel about ourselves impacts everything. The love we accept, the amount of money we receive, the kind of life that we live and lead. The second question is, what do I do for work? I think a lot of people who will be coming, they want to quit their job. They want to start a side hustle. They want to get a promotion. They want to figure out how to be more successful. I want to help you figure out the tools and the practices that are actually going to help you make that next move, that next decision. The third big question, the third big decision is, who do I love and who do I receive love from? Let's really focus in on who are we surrounded by? Who are we spending our life with? What kind of energy are we allowing into our lives? Are we growing with the people around us, or are we growing apart? And the fourth and final question, which I believe is a gift to ask ourselves, how do we want to serve the world? How do we want to leave the world better than we found it? What's the impact we want to leave behind on others? Let's stop thinking about how much everyone's energy impacts us, and let's think about the energy we want to influence others with. So we're going to be focusing on those four questions, a real 360-degree take on life, and I can't wait to do that with you.
Have you got the answers to those questions yourself?
I have answered those questions, but they're questions that I reevaluate and review often because I don't think the answer is finite. I think the answer is infinite, but you need to find the answer for this moment in your life. So I think there are a set of questions that I review and renew constantly.
Every man in the world, every person in the world seems to want to do a podcast and they want to be successful and they want to be superstars, but you are the superstar of all superstars on YouTube, on all the platforms. What makes you different to anyone else? I mean that with respect. I don't mean to ask the question.
No. Oh, no. I didn't take it any other way. I was just reflecting on that question. I always struggle with it. I think I was speaking to Tim Ferriss recently on my podcast, and he said something really cool to me. He said, everyone's trying to be the biggest or the best, but we should all just aspire to be the only. And I think that's what it is. I'm not trying to be anyone else. I'm not trying to do what anyone else has done. I'm just trying to be the best version of myself. And I think that's what separates us, is when we allow ourselves to be all of the messy versions of who we are, the complexities that we have, the paradoxes that we live, the things that we're inspired by. Like, I'm inspired by ancient wisdom. I'm inspired by modern science. I'm inspired by practical application. I'm inspired by music and athletes and acting and movies. I'm inspired by wisdom and India and Eastern knowledge. So I think what makes me unique is that I allow for all of my passions to coexist. And I think that's what people are resonating with, is that they can tell they're getting a whole human experience as opposed to just focusing on a niche or a version of myself.
Is that where the confidence comes from? Because I do this Mental as Anyone podcast. I have a book called Mental as Anyone. And my idea in the world is that I too believe that I just wake up in the morning wanting to be the best version of myself I can possibly be, to put one foot in front of the other some days. But I believe that we're all mental in our own way, because that's what makes the world a beautiful place.
Yeah, I think we're all living in our minds for sure. And I think the joy is when we can start using our heads but living in our hearts. And I think that alignment is what makes a difference between doing what you love and then doing it well. Is there's sincerity of intention, but there's strategy in action. And I think that's what I really want to help people understand on this visit, is you can be really sincere and mean really well. And that's really important. That's the most important thing. But then you have to get really strategic and systematic about how you deliver what you do, because that's what creates impact in the material world. And so I think that balance is really exciting to me, of sincerity and strategy, affection and action. How do we live in a world where we can live in a world where we're soulful, but full of systems as well?
Do you ever doubt yourself?
All the time. I in a good way. I was at an event yesterday. I was giving a keynote to around, I don't know, maybe it was like a couple of thousand people for a corporation. And one of the executives asked me before I went on, they said, "Do you get nervous?" And I looked at them and I said, "Every time." And they said, "How? You've done this for years." And I said, "Because my nerves show me I care. If I don't feel nervous, it means I don't care." And so to me, I doubt myself because I care. I care about who I am. I care about how I make people feel. I care about if I'm having the impact I want to have. And doubt helps me care more deeply. And so rather than looking at doubt as an insecurity or a fear or a challenge, I see it as my friend. It helps me get closer to caring about myself and people and what I do.
So with that in mind, what do you think of the word mental? I'm very much about empowering it, reclaiming it, so to speak, because it has had that negative connotation. But for me, it's a word that I wear as a badge of honor.
Yeah, I love it. I think that we're all overthinkers. We're all mental. We're all, we have our own idiosyncrasies and tendencies. All of us do. And life's about understanding those, healing the parts of ourselves that are holding us back, and giving people the space to be who they are as well. And so I think there's a beautiful dance when that can happen.
What's the biggest lesson, most recent biggest lesson that you've learned about yourself? Because if we knew everything, we'd be up shit creek without a paddle, so to speak.
Absolutely. The most recent thing I've learned about myself, that I have to, it's kind of what I started with you, is that I should never stop. You should never think that you've got the perfect answer on anything. And at the same time, when you have an answer, you have to follow it with conviction. So I've learned that sometimes you feel really clear about something, and that's when you have to follow it conviction. And when you don't feel clear about something, it's okay to reevaluate and review where you were. And I think that's what I've been learning about myself, is that it's okay to do that. It's wonderful to do that. And you don't have to feel guilty or shameful or upset at yourself. You just have to do the work.
And the structure of this show, for want of a better word, that you're doing in Australia, these conversations, let's call it that rather than a show, because show doesn't feel like the right word. What's the structure of that going to be when we're talking through those 4 questions?
The event is going to be divided up into those 4 areas, and we're going to walk through each of the areas and talk about the things that hold you back, how to take action, the tools to actually move forward in each of those spaces. So we're going to make an equal time dedicated to each of those 4 areas so that you walk out with this 360-degree approach to your life.
Is there anything holding you back right now?
That's such a great question. I would say what often holds me back is I keep believing that one day people will trust my vision and let me lead on it. But what I've realized is you have to prove yourself in every new medium you walk into. So currently we're producing TV and film, we're making movies, we're making TV shows, we're building YouTube shows for the first time ever. And what I've realized is that what holds me back sometimes is I think, all right, I've proven myself enough. I think we can go and win now. And I realize, no, you've always got to prove yourself again. You've always got to earn your right. And I'm grateful for that. I like that. It's humbling. It's exciting. It's wonderful to start at the bottom again and find your way back. So I've got to get rid of that mindset. And I always find myself getting there again, but I'm letting go of that.
Anything else you're going to plan to do when you're in Australia for you to switch off, for you to look after your mental health, for you to look after your wellness and seek those best bits of you in Australia specifically?
I always go on a beautiful hike or walk wherever I am. I've done some beautiful moments last time at some great parks I went to, Bondi. I was in Byron Bay last year for an interview for the podcast, and I hiked near the beautiful lighthouse that's there. And so any sort of outdoor activity I'm totally game for. I've been invited to a couple of pickleball games, so I guess I'll be getting my competitive pickleball game on before I get to the event. So if I'm a little upset, it's because I lost earlier, so I'll try and hold that in and not be a sore loser. But no, anything that gets me outdoors. Australia's amazing, and I had some great food there last time too, so I look forward to that.
Are you a pickleball guy?
I am a big pickleball guy. I also play paddle, so I can do both. So I'm terrible at tennis, but good at paddle and pickleball.
You're ambidextrous. Well, what about shuttlecock?
No, never. I'm not good at all. Terrible.
I'll take you to play shuttlecock. I've learned to play that with my boyfriend recently.
Oh, no, I'm horrendous. I'm horrendous. You don't want to play with me.
What's your top mental health tip?
To be honest, my number one thing that comes to mind is the one thing we can solve without having to learn a new skill. Please get some sleep. I think if we slept 7 to 9 hours, if we slept 7 to 9 hours a night, it would solve 50% of our mental health challenges. There's no substitute for sleep. You can do everything else, and if you don't sleep, it won't work. Sleeping will make you eat better. It will make you work out. It will make you have energy throughout the day. You'll curb your cravings. Like, sleep impacts every other health habit you could possibly do. So sleep is my number one focus, number one piece of advice.
Final question. I do this thing on my Mental as Anyone podcast, and it's called the J.Mo Mental Health Scale, and it is the 1 to 10 of mental health. 10 being extraordinary, I'm having a cracker. 1 being shithouse, I'm not in a good headspace. Okay. What are you on J.Mo's mental health scale right this point?
Today, right now?
Right this second.
Right this second, I'd say I'm a solid 8. I'm a solid 8. Because you said 10 is the best, right? 10 is the top. Yeah, I'd say a solid 8 because I've been speaking to loads of wonderful people for the last hour. What day is it today? It's a Thursday, so it's nearly the weekend. I've had a really wonderful week, and my monk teacher is about to come into town. I'm going to get to spend a week with him, so I'm really looking forward to seeing him.
Is it possible to be a 10? Because I don't think I've ever been a 10 other than a euphoric feeling of, getting my dopamine level hit. But I don't know. Is it possible to be a 10?
No, I think that's a really good answer. I agree with you. I mean, I think I was going to go 7 or 8. I think 10 I don't think I would ever answer that question as a 10. That would be, like you said, a euphoric moment. If I just had the best conversation of my life, or I sat down in a podcast and we were in flow state, those are moments of 10s. But you're right, they're not just like a constant state. So I'm with you on that. I think that's fair.
I'm very much looking forward to meeting you in person. I really appreciate you chatting. And remember, we are all mental as anyone, mate.
Absolutely. Thank you. Such a pleasure to meet you. And thanks for your time.
Thanks for joining me for this episode. Click the follow button so you don't miss what's next. You can watch full episodes on YouTube and Spotify or dive deeper in my book, Mental as Anyone. You'll find all the key links in the description, including support numbers and resources if you need an extra hand navigating your mental health. And before we go, I want to give a huge thank you to our sponsors who make this show possible. Chemist Warehouse has been with us from day one, and they are there for you every day with over 550 stores across the country. It's the home for variety and value, giving you everything you need to stay balanced and healthy. Visit in-store or online at chemistwarehouse.com.au to find out what feels right for you. This season, Amazon has played a special role in how we bring this show to life. The night before a recording, we'll jump on and order something small for our guests. And by the next day, it's there for them. It's those little moments that help people feel seen. So this is a genuine thank you for being part of those conversations, one delivery at a time. Amazon Prime offers free next day delivery on millions of eligible items across Australia. Shop online at amazon.com.au.